Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to another episode. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about cost of living in Mexico. And we're going to be getting into the nitty gritty of it all. As you guys can already see on the screen, we already are going to be covering the basics, that you need to live out here, from rent to utilities, food, transport, and beyond. We're going to be breaking it down. We're going to be talking about health insurance. We're going to be talking about luxuries that you might want, miscellaneous things. Things like, again, school for kids, if you got kids, if you got pets, if you want a cleaning lady, what the cost of just about anything and everything is involved out here. We're even going to be talking about food cost, okay? What an apple cost, what does meat cost? What does all of these things cost? What does it cost to live in Mexico in 2023 and beyond? Okay, so welcome back, guys. Welcome back to all the new viewers, all the old viewers. Just welcome to everybody. As you guys already know, we have a lot of different kind of content on this channel talking about what it is to move to Mexico and live in Mexico. And just welcome, and let's just get right into it, okay? As you guys can see, in today's episode, we're just taking a drive around here in Merida, Yucatan, and as we take a little drive, we're also going to be talking about, these cost of living, okay, which is a very important subject. It's one of my top three, video subjects or matters that you guys are always concerned about and want to talk about. So let's just get into it. Let's just start breaking it down. Now, we're going to be, in this episode, I did a little something different where I decided we're going to be talking about not just what it is to live out here as a single person, just you by yourself, or a family of four. I went on a few websites and I did a little bit more research. I saved some receipts, from when I go to the store and so on and so forth. So, that way I can provide as much information as possible because, hey, sometimes you just need to get a haircut. Like, I got to get a haircut. And you're wondering, how much is a haircut? It's around $5, okay? 5, 4, 6 US dollars. By the way, we're going to be doing everything in US dollars so that anyone around the world can make the easy conversion, okay? Because I feel like it's a lot easier than if I go with pesos, okay? So again, a haircut is like around $5. Now, there's a lot of places out there that'll charge you a lot more. You can get charged as much as $25 to $50 for a super high end, or more, even more, for a haircut or going to the salon or what have you. But again, usually just for me, around $5. For a woman, let's say she wants to go to the salon, like my wife, it's not going to be more than, again, double, maybe triple that, same as back home. So what, maybe $10, 15 tops. But hey, let's talk about these things that are on the screen, okay, that you guys were watching earlier and saw earlier. Okay, so what is rent? The typical rent for anyone out here, okay, can vary. Okay, honestly, even though it says on screen for one person $200 for rent, I've actually rented places for less. I know people out there that live in small apartments, maybe not the most desirable place in the city, perhaps even a room. You could be a roommate with somebody, and again, a bunch of Mexicans living in a house. You could be a roommate, and you can pay as little as 50 US dollars, okay, a month. But I want to say like around 200 is a good rough estimate of what you could pay for rent in a home. Now, question mark on the others, because again, you can pay anywhere from 200 to infinite. You want to pay 1,000, 2,000, it's up to you. I know people that live in high-rise apartments and they pay $2,000, or more or less, whatever, for an apartment in the same city where I have a whole house for $275 a month. All right, so my house a month, a 2-bedroom house, is $275 a month, because I choose to live in the residential area as opposed to a more fancy schmancy area. Okay, now utilities, again, this is all going to depend, but basically a rough estimate of all utilities are, again, gas. You need gas to cook. Okay, just regular propane. You need electricity, so that I can film these videos and I can have lights and air conditioning. Okay, we got cell phone, we got internet. Now, before, when I made these videos, I used to list all these out, but they're such a low cost that there's no reason to really, list them out. Cell phone for the month, okay, is $10. My internet for the month, Okay, we're getting very fast internet, faster than anything I've ever had in the US before. Is around 25, 30 bucks a month. Okay, the light bill, the power bill is some, and again, depending on where you are, depending on how much power you're gonna have or gas, again, heating or air conditioning. Out here, air conditioning, aka electric, I gotta pay my electric bill. My electric bill comes to around, again, like around 75 bucks a month, give or take. All right. Water bill is basically like $6 a month. So, that's basically all the bills. So all utilities, every utility you need is 125 bucks. Okay. And again, it goes up and down. It just depends on your usage and where you live. Okay, your utilities could be actually be a lot less than that, or a lot more than that. But that's just a rough estimate. Now, food. Okay, food is another very, very important topic. Okay, food. Okay, is, again, let's just say that you want to spend $5 a day. You can definitely live on $5 a day out here and eat very well. Whether you just eat I eat one meal a day. It's one big meal a day, all right? But I eat one meal a day. Some of you guys eat multiple meals a day. But again, you can definitely spend $5 or less, okay, a day, especially if you buy your own food. So if you go to the market and you buy your own fruits, your vegetables, whatever, you cook for yourself, you can definitely keep it under $5. But even if you go to the local taco truck and you don't eat that much, you can definitely spend around that. Me and Christian went to a restaurant not too long ago, and I got a little bit over a pound of meat for tacos. They just, you order by the pound. We got a pound of meat and 2 sodas, okay, and the tip, 20% tip, okay, and the total was $12.50. Okay, $12.50 for that. All right, that's pretty great. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so again, and then that day I spent a little over $10. Okay, so again, if you spend $5 a day, it's $150 a month. If you spend $10 a day, it's $300 a month. Okay, so rough estimate there. So transport is the next thing. The next thing is, how you're gonna get from point A to point B. This can be zero. For me, it was zero or under 20 bucks for a long time. For you guys that have watched my videos and watched my content and watched this channel for a very long time, you guys know I came out here with nothing, and I was on my Chevrolet legs, walking around everywhere, or, eventually I got a bike and I was able to bike places. But it was very few and far in between when I got in a taxi or an Uber. But as time went on, not only did I go in Ubers a lot and was able to travel further out, but I eventually got a truck, I got a car. So again, now I spend more on transport because, well, I go further. I'm showing you right now. What, you think this is free? The gasoline that I'm spending to drive this 8-cylinder beast around the city. Bruh. By the way, shout out to everyone out there, to all the new members. You guys are finally on the front of the YouTube page. Yay! So if you're a member and you want to see yourself on my page on the YouTube, go there. So shout out to all the members, shout out to all the patrons, shout out to every single one of you contributors out there, whether you send $1, $5, anything you send. Shout out to everyone out there that helps makes this show possible. And again, by you helping the show, I get to help everyone else. And again, if you've gotten any value from this episode, any episode, and you want to help, you already know what to do. You can please like, share, whatever. Subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. But anyways, let's keep going into it. So as you guys can see, a total, you guys can live out here on a total of around 500 bucks a month, all right? I've made videos on this topic before where you can actually live for even less than that, 450 bucks a month, even less, okay? Now, the typical Mexican makes around 650 bucks a month. So that's a typical Mexican, meaning, there's a lot of Mexicans that make a lot less than that, okay? So you can live on 450 a month, okay? You can definitely live on 650 a month. In fact, a lot of Mexicans have to figure it out, and they got to live on that because expenses can get higher than that, especially if they got a family, all right? We're going to talk about a family in a second, but again, the highest, your expenses are going to be on the low end of things, okay, would be like around 700 bucks, okay? So again, 500, 700, and again, it can go a lot higher, okay? It can go a lot higher, and it can also go lower, okay? But again, what's going to determine, what's going to make it go higher and lower? Well, it's so many other things. Again, depending on who you are, you might need health insurance, or you might need to go see a doctor on a regular basis, right? So what are doctor's visits going to cost you? What is medicine going to cost you? let's say, again, you want to have fun. A lot of people do want to have fun. You don't want to just be in your home all day, right? So, what does fun cost you? Again, what does a movie cost you? A movie costs like around $4. You can go see a doctor for $3. You can go to a bar, a cantina, and have a beer for, around $1.50. No, I think it's more like $2, $2.50. All right, $2, $2.50 for a beer. You can go to a park for free. There are many, many, many things you can do for free. So there's things like that for fun. Again, health insurance. I made episodes on that, talking about that more in depth. That's not what we're going to talk about here. But again, if that's a concern for you, that might be an added expense. Luxuries. Some of you guys want luxuries. What are luxuries? Again, whether you want to go out on a regular basis, whether maybe you want to have a car, you want to have to pay for insurance for that car. I could go on and on. You know what luxuries are. Okay. You want a brand new computer, a brand new phone. You can get all that here. You can get a brand new phone out here, a brand new iPhone 14 if you want. But it's going to cost you. It's not going to be cheaper. At the very least, it's going to cost you exactly the same. Okay. So I could go on and on. You know what I mean? Like, again, what is a cleaning lady going to cost you? A cleaning lady, again, varies in price, but let's just say around $20. Okay. A good average is around $20 a month. All right. Or not a month, I'm sorry, per visit, okay? A handyman as well. A handyman is not going to charge much. Look, minimum wage in Mexico is around 250 pesos a day, okay? So 250 pesos a day, all right? So if you are, hiring a handyman and you're paying them on the very low end, you're a cheapskate or whatever, and he's working for you all day, you can pay him as little as $12.50. Now, I think most of you guys pay a little more, but again, that's where the whole weirdness of the gringo price comes along too. You follow me? All right, because a lot of people, they want to exploit that, and they want to go on ahead and hey, I'm gonna get my $12.50 8 hours worth of work out of you. And it's like, bro, come on, man, are you kidding me? And it's like, I'm not paying an extra $5 or giving you an extra whatever because I don't want to get gringo prices. Like, really? I don't want to get into it, but it's just a topic, that a lot of us struggle with, all right? I mean, for me, I always liked, I definitely want to get the lowest price, everything, the best possible, deal, price. But at the same time, if I know I got more, all right? Or again, I know that, something is going to cost me an X amount back where I'm used to, again, I don't want to get too specific here, but let's just say, again, like a job. Let's say the cleaning lady, she's only charging me $20, but that day I know that my house was extra crazy dirty, okay? I might want to give her a tip, you know what I mean? Or the handyman, he came out here and he did the job in an extremely quickly faster than usual amount of time. And he's only charging me, $5. I'm like, I'm going to give him $10, maybe $15 if I feel, you know what I mean? Like what he did for me was worth it, and so on and so forth. So it's up to you what you want to do with all this and how you want to spend your money. Okay. A lot of you guys have kids. Let's just move into the whole family thing. Okay. A family of 4. What are the cost of a family of 4? So as you guys can see right there on screen, okay, the basic cost for a family of 4, obviously they're going to increase. Where for a single person, the low end was around $500. As a single person, you can live here for like around $500. And again, you're not living like a king. You're you got a roof and you got your bills paid. Let's just put it that way, okay? You're not living comfortably per se. But anyways, in order for that situation to be replicated for a family, it's going to be around $1,000 or $1,000 US dollars, okay? To again have a just a bottom rung, a lower, a middle class family, okay? So rent will be like somewhere in the $400 range. But a lot of you guys, again, depending on how much you make in your family and all this other stuff, it's going to be a little bit more than that. It's going to be somewhere in the whatchamacallit, in the $500, $600, $800 range. Again, even $1,000 range for rent. It might seem like a lot for Mexico, but compared to where you're from, it's probably a bargain. So again, let's just keep it on the low end of $400 US, okay? Now, utilities. Utilities, again, they're gonna remain basically the same. You're just gonna pay a little more because you probably have a few cell phones now that you gotta pay for. You're obviously gonna be wasting a lot more electricity and other utilities just because you got more people, but it's not gonna be much more. So let's just say around $200, all right? Food. Definitely going to be a lot more. You're feeding 4 mouths instead of 1 mouth. So again, minimum, I would say like around $300 a day. Okay, maybe a little more or around there, to all the way to like around 600. And then transport, obviously that's going to increase. You got a family, you got to move them around. You already know. So whether you got a car or whatever it is you're doing, it's going to cost you more. Okay, to move around. So on the minimum, for a family of 4, expect to live pretty comfortably, minimum comfortable, $1,000, okay? But again, it could be anywhere from $1,000 to $1,400 to $2,000, okay, for a family of 4. Because remember, you have other things now. As a family, you probably got to put your kids through school. Now, I did a tiny bit of research. I'm not gonna lie, I did a little bit of research, and really, you can go on ahead and get yourself, like a private school for like around $4,000 US a year, okay? Maybe less. Okay, maybe more, but I would say that's a good testing ground. By the way, if anyone out there, okay, has any comments down below, that you guys would like to share about what you pay for your school, for your kids, what you guys pay for, your things, how close am I, with the cost of living, with your cost of living, and so on and so forth. So the more you can share down below, please share, because again, we're all helping out each other here, okay? That's why I make these videos, and that's why I leave the comment section open, and I want to, have these conversations, because again, some of you guys have a lot less expenses than I do, or what I'm showing here, or your expenses are a lot higher. And in fact, I get this again a lot. A lot of people are always like, hey, YouTubers or you or whatever lied to us about the cost of living. Things are actually way expensive here. That's why I make these videos, because in order, for you to really, live, on like $500 a month, or have a family living on $1,000 a month, you're living like a Mexican. That's it. You're not living like the most poor Mexican, again, depending on how low you go, but you're living like a Mexican. If you want to live like an American, or you want to live like a rich Mexican, then you're definitely going to be spending a lot more than $1,400 a month on yourself, okay, and the wife, okay, let alone a family, okay. So you got to keep that in mind. If you want to live in the north, you want to live in a very, very fancy house, you want to have a very fancy car, you want to have a brand new iPhone, listen, all that's going to cost money. In fact, it's probably going to cost you exactly the same, or very close to what you are already paying back home where you're from. Okay, so let's just keep that in mind, all right? But again, if you want it, all you want is to be fed. If all you want is a roof over your head, all you want is electricity, internet, basics, all the basics that we as civilized humans, are pretty much not entitled to. I don't like that word. But in a sense, it's like, hey, if you work hard, you should be entitled to these things. So just your basics, if you are only caring about your basics, you can definitely get all your basics covered and then some for the amounts that I'm showing, okay? Again, whether it's somewhere in the $500 to $700 range for a single person, okay, to over $1,000 for a family of 4. And, like I said, if you got a family of 4, you're going to have a lot more expenses. You already know what they are. It's not just school. You got to buy toys. You got to have, you definitely got to keep the kids entertained. And again, there's a lot of free things out here for families. There's so many things that you can do with your family for free that are tons of fun for the kids. But still, you got to think that, hey, you got to still feed the kids. You still got to transport the kids. You still got to, there's certain things that you still got to spend money on. And, those things start adding up. And so when you're living in a place where, you can have a lot of family fun and it's all going to cost you a lot less than wherever you're from, that's, again, another, another bonus to coming and living in another country. The fact that you also get the cultural immersion, for you and your family and all this other stuff. But again, long story short, what we're really talking about here, we're talking about is cost of living, okay? So, the reality is that if you are right now barely making it in the USA or wherever you're from, and you can somehow make around $500-$600 a month online, through a pension, retirement, whatever, you can come out here and live. I don't want to say squalor, but you can definitely live a life. Okay. Now, yeah, you're going to be on the very bottom rung. Okay, depending on how much or how little you have, you'll probably just get like a small apartment or a small townhouse or a small room, whatever, depending on the city you also move to. The utilities and all these other things. Again, you already see what the prices are. Really, again, you can live out here no problem and get back on your feet or get on your feet or whatever. But like I said, you know what I mean? Like, you also got to remember that there are intangibles. There are also, miscellaneouses. Like, again, you can have an accident. I remember when I first moved out here, I had zero, nothing, negative money. And I had an accident once where I had, I broke through some glass and I had to get 8 stitches on my hand. And I was panicking because I didn't know how I was going to get money for that until I called the doctor. Because you can do that. You can just call the hospital and talk to the doctor that's going to sew you up and ask him how much it's going to cost. And then when he told me it was going to be $50, $50 to get it all fixed, I was like counting my money. You know what I mean? I barely had enough, but I had enough, and I went and I got fixed. Thank God I did. But anyways, long story short is that things are a lot more accessible out here. So even if you are on the bottom rung and you're still trying to figure it out, you can make it out here. I get a lot of comments and questions and everything from a lot of people. And a lot of people are like, "Hey, can I come out there and live in my car?" Probably no. That is not something you can do. Okay, no. Okay, if you're coming out here, and especially with nothing, expect the fact that most Mexicans and a lot of Mexicans are also in a similar situation. And they can afford to, at the very least, have a roof over their head and pay the bills. So you got to be able to do the same. And you, coming from another country, believe it or not, have a lot more resources than the typical Mexican. Not only do you speak English, but you can make dollars. And therefore, for a lot less work, you can make a lot more money. And therefore, not have to worry about, the working aspect as much. Okay. Now, again, for you to come out here and get a job out here, then you're going to be getting paid like a Mexican. So if you're okay with getting paid around $12.50 a day, then yeah, you can get a job out here. Otherwise, you got to have a very highly professional type career, okay, and also speak Spanish in order for you to really get hired by any company that's going to pay you anything worth your time. Otherwise, you got to become an entrepreneur, or you got to work for yourself, or you got to have an online job, and so on and so forth. A lot of you guys already got this problem solved and rectified, but there's a lot of people out there that still got the misconception that, they're going to come out here on some disability check and that they're not going to get in trouble and that, everything's going to be hunky-dory or whatever. No, okay? Just about everyone or anyone can move out here. Again, I came out here with $1,500 to my name, no retirement, no pension, no military, nothing, zero, negative, okay? Again, you guys can watch other videos on my story if you're interested, but Dog the Bounty Hunter, for crying out loud, chasing me, all right? And I came out here and I was able to succeed and survive and all that stuff. So you can do the same, but you got to put in a lot of hard work, a lot of effort, and you got to make it happen. Now, for everyone else that's already doing that and you're just looking for a better, a better life, you can definitely find it out here. Because again, it's not just a better quality of life, but again, things are just less expensive, okay? They're easy, they're more accessible. Now, things are getting expensive here. Things used to be cheaper. But the reality is that at the end of the day, it's not even about that, okay? It's more about the quality of life than anything else, okay? And yes, the fact that you do not need to, again, work so hard or make as much money as you would where you're, currently at right now in order to pay for your, just your basic bills, that helps with your quality of life. So again, out here, you still got to work hard. Out here, a typical Mexican really got to work hard in order to make more. Again, a typical Mexican makes around $650 a month, all right? And their expenses are around $750 a month. So think about that. So they got to always figure out a way to make a little more. So as long as you're have the ability to do that, or put yourself to work and get things done, then guess what? You will be fine. You will also be able to survive out here and thrive out here, okay? But just keep that in mind, all right? And keep in mind, what your luxuries and expenses are. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on screen, okay, as you guys can see here, okay, we're going to be looking at a few things, okay, of what things cost out here, groceries, okay, because we already covered just about everything, okay? We covered everything, okay? If I haven't covered anything, please let me know in the comments, and we'll talk about it in the comments, or we can make another video. We know that this is a very important topic that you guys, cannot get enough of. So I'm gonna definitely keep making more videos on this. But as you guys can see on screen, that's what things cost, all right? You guys are already probably looking at it, all right, while I'm talking here. And that's basically the price, okay, for many things. There's a few things that are just not the right price, but, I'm not going to really be debating anything over a few pennies here or there. The only thing that I do see that is different is wine. Okay, wine is $10 there, but look, I can get wine for like $5, like amazing wine for $5 to $6, all right? So just FYI, putting it out there. Steak as well, you know what I mean? Like, steak or beef is around, $8 to $9. This used to be a lot cheaper, but because of the whole situation that we're dealing with inflation and everything around the world, for what, that's one of the things that went up in price, same as chicken. But again, that's still pretty cheap compared to back home. And so remember, these are prices in kilograms. So again, it's 2.2 pounds. So really, steak is around $4 a pound, okay? And again, it's more like ground beef is around $4 a pound. If you want a steak, it's like $8 a pound. All right, like a New York or a T-bone or a ribeye, that's like closer to $8, and ground beef is closer to $4. Okay, a pound. All right, a pound. All right, so just FYI. All right, and then same with chicken. Chicken right now is, what does it say there? Around 5 something. Yeah, again, I can get like 4 chicken thighs, 6 chicken thighs, for like $2. Okay. So yeah, just FYI. All right. So things like bread, that's about the right price. Rice, that's the right price. Eggs, milk, all those are the right prices. In fact, like I said, it might vary depending on the region. And some regions, there are, a lot of things like tomatoes, potatoes, eggs, local, fruits and vegetables, way cheaper, so cheap. You can get like a whole bag of tomatoes for like 50 cents, okay? Literally. Like organic tomatoes or bananas or whatever you're into. But again, I wanted to put this on there because, there's a lot of miscellaneous. We got toothpaste all the way at the bottom. We got toilet paper. We got hair shampoo. So again, if you just want to use off-brand shampoo, cheaper. But if you want to use something like, I don't know, Head and Shoulders or Pantene or whatever these name brands, a bottle of shampoo is going to be like $5 or $6 instead of $2.50 or whatever. Same with toilet paper, depending on the brand, depending on how much you're going to pay. But the toilet paper I like to use, again, not to get too whatever, is double that price. But again, it's like still less than $1 a roll, okay? And it's high quality toilet paper for my schmancy fancy butt, all right? Toothpaste. Again, toothpaste is even cheaper sometimes, okay, than $1.50 for a tube. But I like to, again, use the fluoride-free, schmancy, organic, whatever, so I'm paying like around $5 for my toothpaste, all right? Everyone's different. But again, these are the luxuries I was talking about. When I was really poor, I had to go with Crest Complete and, or whatever, Walmart brand they had or whatever. And, I was spending like $1 on toothpaste. But, now that I can afford it, and health is an important issue for me, I go with a fancy toothpaste. I go with, again, thank God for at least the fruits and the vegetables. That's something I never had to worry about, because when I was at my poorest, when I first got here, it wasn't a problem. It really wasn't an issue, because I would just go to the store, go to the market, and that's it. And just, cook for myself. And, things were very cheap. So, that's, I think that's, about covers the fact that, that about covers, the groceries and, toiletries and a lot of very important things that would fall under the food category. Because again, we're covering the basics of cost of living, the most important things. Again, the roof over your head, AKA the rent on the place that you're going to be living in. All of the utilities, every utility. The food, okay, very important. You got to eat. And you got to drink water, right? The water's in the utilities, by the way, okay? The transport, which again could be zero, okay? Just all on you. Depends on whether you want to get some exercise or not. And again, just totaling all of that is around $500 US a month. Okay. Now you want to add the extra toothpaste. You want to go to the movie theater. You want to buy a video game, or go on a date with somebody. You want to go to the bar with a friend. You want to go out to dinner. You want to go to the beach. Okay. Again, even if going to the beach is still very cheap. You can go to the beach. Take the bus, buy some beer, do the whole thing for $10, $15. All right. But let's just say you want to go to the beach. Whatever it is. All of these things, okay? You got to buy a new shirt. You got to buy underwear. You got to buy whatever, okay? These are the added expenses that are not listed here. But again, if you are saving so much on all your basic needs, any kind of emergency that arises, you'll be able to take care of. Again, glasses, very important. You know how expensive these things can be. I've made videos on this, okay? By the way, once you're done here, you guys should check out my other videos. You guys should go to my website and see, okay, how much, not only how they make these here, but how much they cost. Same thing for the dentist. You can go to a dentist here for like $25. You need like a lot of work done. It's like $100, not thousands of dollars, okay? All right? These glasses, like around $50. Come on, all right? High quality, all right? And so many things. And again, I can pay, $300, $400 for these glasses. I can also pay, $300 to $400 for a dentist here. It's up to you and who you want, and whether you go out there and do, the right people, and you go to the right places. But long story short, for the most part, everything's going to be a lot cheaper. Again, I hate using cheaper, a lot less expensive, a lot more inexpensive, a lot more affordable, a lot easier, a lot more accessible to you and your family, all right, and your loved ones. And again, that's another main reason why not only do a lot of people moving out here, but now more than ever, a lot of Mexicans are staying out here, and a lot of Mexicans are also taking full advantage of this, because I get asked about gentrification a lot, and how a lot of people out there think that all the gentrification that's happening in Mexico is by people like you and me, expats, Americans, Canadians, Europeans. And the reality is that no, a lot of the gentrification, in fact, 90% of the gentrification is being done by other Mexicans. Mexicans that are now middle class, upper middle class, rich, and they're gentrifying. They want the Starbucks. They want to drive Tesla. They want the Levi jeans. They want the iPhone 14. And by the way, so do we. We just can't afford them back home anymore. So we come out here and we have to buy them at a markup. But anyways, the point I'm making is that everyone that is gentrifying Mexico is Mexicans. Okay? It's not us. Sure, we're doing a little bit of the gentrification, but really, if anything, we're just, again, when there's Americans or others, Europeans, Canadians that come out here and they say things are just as expensive or more expensive, are the same ones that go to Starbucks every day, are the same ones that are still, going to, the most expensive department store out there. And I can go on and on. Again, you can go to El Centro, you can go to downtown and shop where the typical working class Mexican shops, and you can get, t-shirts for a few dollars, $1. Okay. But if you go to the mall, then this same shirt that's going to cost you $1 in downtown is going to cost you $10 at the mall. All right. Or more, maybe more, maybe $25. All right. And so, you're coming out here, you're going to Starbucks, and you're buying your $25 t-shirts at the mall, and you're going to P.F. Chang's, and listen, you're going to be spending the same thing as you spend back home. But if you come out here and you're living with the Mexicans, you shop for your fruits and your vegetables at the local, store, or the local fruit vendor, the local butcher, when you're going to go out to eat, instead of going to P.F. Chang's or McDonald's, you're going, or Chili's, you're going to the taco place, the local taco stand, Again, if I go to McDonald's on my own, I'm spending like around $15 or more. If I go to the taco stand for $10, me and Christian can eat. See the difference? And that's something, all these things add up. Okay? And so that's the thing, there is a way in which you can live out here very frugally. You can live out here on a very modest budget and enjoy life very, very much. But again, if you're coming out here on a very modest budget and you want to come out here and live like King Louis the 38th, listen, it's not going to work out for you. Now again, if you got a lot of money, you got resources, oh yeah, you're going to love it out here. Oh my God. You'll definitely be, in the upper 0.01%, a little under 1%. But, for everyone else, again, you gotta know your cost of living. You got to know what, you spend, and then you got to, again, stay within your budget. That's what a lot of people just refuse to, do. You got to stay within your budget. You know why? Because out here, the money you got is the money you got, meaning whatever you make, whatever comes in every month, whatever it is, that's all you got. There ain't no credit card. There ain't no debt. There ain't none of that. I mean, there is if you bring it from your country out here. Try using it out here. But anyways, long story short, it's not the same. You know what I mean? And if you do, once you get established, let's say like me, I'm a permanent resident, all right, or a citizen. But let's say, temporary or permanent resident. Banks are already going to be offering you, credit cards, and they're going to be offering you all this credit, and you're going to be able to get credit out here. But the credit out here, whatever it is, no matter what it is, you're going to be paying like 20, 30, 40% on your card. So think about that. Think about that, when you go out next time, that if you go to the 7-Eleven out here in Mexico and you buy something that's $5 worth at the 7-Eleven on your credit card, if you don't pay it in time, that's going to be, I don't know what the math is, but it's going to be close to $10, all right? Or whatever, or $7.50. I don't know. You're going to be paying a lot of money for that. And so a lot of people don't even use credit cards out here. Again, you're going to be seeing a lot of Mexicans trying to, get on that credit system. But most Mexicans are smart enough to understand that credit and debt is very bad, okay, to accumulate, and most of them don't. So the reality is that not only is it harder to find out here or harder to obtain out here, but most people just don't use it because of the high interest rates. So don't, keep that in mind as well. So there's a lot more to unpack, a lot more to talk about, as you guys already know. I think we covered a lot in today's episode. I don't want to keep harping on because, again, we got to make other episodes and you guys got to watch other episodes, and your time is important. I don't want to be wasting your time, babbling on about things you don't care about. I hope you guys made it all the way through the video. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you guys, really were able to get some value out of today's video. Like I said, if there's anything else you guys want me to talk about as it pertains to this topic, please leave down below in the comments. Again, if you want me to cover certain things, or again, if you are curious, like about other subjects, do a search on my YouTube page. Just go to my YouTube page, all right, and just do a little search. You can see I got close to 800 videos, all right, already. That you can just do a quick search and see if I've already made a video on the topic, whatever that topic is. All right. So also, check out my other videos, please. I got a whole plethora of free information out there, not just on my YouTube page, but on my website. Okay, on my website is tons of free information that you can access. Again, if you need a lawyer, for anything, whether you got taxes, business, want to buy a house, immigration, whatever, you need a personal assistant to help you find the home, a rental, whatever. You want to have a one-on-one video call, a Zoom call meeting with me. And I can go on and on. Again, you need to know where I got my glasses. You can go there. You want to go to my dentist, you can go and check it out there. All on my website. Okay, and it's all for free. Everything is free. Everything I provide is free. That's why it's so important when you guys send me $1 or $5 or send me whatever it is you send me, because you guys are the ones that are really paying, for me to keep doing this, because YouTube ain't really paying me much. And again, as you guys already know, that's why I'm starting a business, because I got to pay my bills. You know what I mean? And, this ain't paying me enough. But hey, shout out to every one of you. Extra, double, triple, quadruple shout out to all of you guys that have helped me, throughout the years and are continuously helping me now and going forward. Because again, as you guys already know, you're not really just helping me. You're helping us all. You're helping everyone out there that has yet to make the transition out here, or for those that have already made the transition. But literally, you guys are helping everyone else out there, whether it's yourself or others that are watching these videos and trying to get as much information and content out of them. So, with all that being said, guys, you already know the deal. If you like this kind of content, all right, and you want to see more, don't forget to please like, please subscribe, please hit the bell icon. But more importantly than anything else, please stay awesome. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.